Shout out Brucegas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy. Yeah, I've been here arresting boys out here telling baby I'm the hardest nigga. I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the tape. I'm calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fake. I'm the was champion like Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas. One day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. We gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. Take a hit out the top of two. Slipping hella shots. Feel like Tyson with the people. Little Glock on my side, but it hit just like the crew. Shout out, man, that real shit. That's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. Strapped to my side, and I ain't talking about no sin. Bruce pass me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Hey, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you could never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Good evening, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. And I'm here with my friend Miles Bailey. Let me bring Miles up to the stage, and we're gonna get Mike the Bounty Hunter up here pretty soon, man. We're just working out the kinks over here. But anyway, it's my friend Miles Bailey. Miles, what's happening, brother?
Man, we putting it together, Bruce. We can start off on a lot of things. We can talk about the Haney fight, which everybody talked about, but I'm going to talk about the fighters I'm affiliated with and working with and advising and trying to get back into the game. Mike was supposed to come on, but he'll be there. But it's like you say, working out the kinks. But we could get into, I got several blue chip kids. They're not kids, they're men, but they're on their way. I'd like to give a shout out to Carmel Mouton because he's going to be something special because he's young and he has a lot of upside. And I've never seen this in the life of my boxing and even in the history. Usually when guys start out in boxing, they start out with the easy fights, the cream puffs, guys that can't hold up their hands. Where Carmel Mouton started off with a kid 4-0 with 3 knockouts. He put him out in the first round, knocked another kid out 3-0 with 3 knockouts first round. Then he fought a 7-0-2 guy going on his 10th fight, undefeated, and beat him like a drum on national television. A 17-year-old phenom, which is great for boxing. And the same thing Ryan did the other night. I mean, I hate to talk about the Devin Haney thing because we started out with me, Fareed, Samad, who is actually training Carmel Mouton. So it's an irony there. And then he got with Mike McCallum, my man, the body snatch, who got him to 25-0. And Repo Rick was part of that too. He was the whoop that ass guy. But anyway, after 25-0, he went off on his own. I guess he and his dad went another direction. And then, he won a few fights. And then the unfortunate thing happened to him on Saturday night, which I knew there was a possibility because you have a fighter in the ranks of a Ryan Garcia who was 24-1. If you take away the Tank fight, which he was depleted in weight, he has an 80% knockout rate. So he had a puncher's chance. And they had history because they had fought 6 times and it's 3-3. And he had given Devin an 8 count, far as I was told or what was said. So I think just to close on the Devin thing and not just talk a lot about it, is that if he had went into his game plan like how he put the last guy, Regis, in December, and use his ring generalship and try to box the guy and then move along like that, I think he would have been victorious. But when you come like the Matador, or you want to fight like Tyson or Rocky Marciano, or come like George Foreman and Ernie Shavers and press the guy, and Devin, he's not really a knockout puncher. He's a great fighter, good ring generalship, and I think he could have beat Ryan. But when you come after a guy who has a good left hook, we saw the results, 3 knockdowns. It was really like one-sided. I mean, it was a good fight. Devin fought well, but Ryan was victorious. But moving on from that, Devin will be back. I hope I can play a part to help him back where he's at. But I want to get back to the fighters that we're working with. Michael Hunter, this is what this show was supposed to be about. Because he's 22-1-2. He's never
What about that fight that he had in Eastern Europe last week?
Yeah, well, got cut because it was an exhibition, almost like the these fighters that fight in that combat stuff. So he went over there, got a few bucks for the fight, but it was more of just staying in shape because it was exhibition, but he got cut off thighs because the guy headbutted him. But that's all right. It didn't hurt his pro career, so he'll be back strong as ever. I'm working with Demetrius Salita and my buddy Nermo Lorick. He's my partner. I've known Nermo for almost 45 or 50 years. We both are advisors, and Demetrius is going to promote, and hopefully we can get him overseas, get a title shot, because he fought in March, he won by knockout. He fought in September, he won by knockout. And now we're looking for somebody in the top 10, get him eliminated and possible title shot, because he's a two-time Olympian, very good guy in the ring as far as he's like an Einstein, because he's not a big puncher and he's not Muhammad Ali, but he could beat you with his IQ. And anybody knows that. That's why everybody turns down the fight to fight Michael Hunter. He was actually super heavyweight when Deontay Wilder and my other fighter was there, Kim Bethel Boykin, in the 2008 Olympics. He didn't win, but he made it, and he made it again in 12. So he's a two-time Olympian, but he made it there. But he's supposed to come on the show and possibly talk about the future, because I'm advising him and to move his career and crank start it up. And the next two fighters is the Rockman brothers, Sharif and Hassan. Sharif is 8-0 now. He just fought on the Joe Guardia card, looked really good. He should be a champ. His dad was knocked out, Lennox Lewis, and his brother, we call him Little Rock, Hassan Jr. He's 12-2, and we're gonna get him a couple of fights, get him back going. He actually was at the fight. I saw him at the Devin Haney fight with Garcia. He's there. And I got a couple other guys I'd like to discuss that I'm working with. Demetrius Long, he's a 147. He's a debuter, but he's an Army guy, so he's very disciplined. He does his road work, he does his training. Working with Van Easley, my man Van, who fought Jadon Connington back in the 90s or the early 2000s. But
hey, let me shout out who comes in here, Miles. I want to make sure I give them their acknowledgement, or else we might as well be talking to ourselves. My brother Angel Diaz, man, shout out to you. And my brother BVO Boxing out there, man. He's got a good channel, man. Shout out to my brother BVO Boxing. And go ahead, Miles. Sorry to interrupt you, man. But see, I get this kind of brain where if I'm thinking something and I get another thought in there, everything goes. And I'm like in fucking mush mind. So I gotta shut these cats off. Yeah.
Anytime you wish, because I don't know if I'm gonna go the whole hour, but I'm gonna try, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. But I'm trying to run it down so this way, because my man Schwartzy, I call him the rabbi, but Richie Schwartz is the cut man. He says, Miles, you can't go in there like the gangbusters, because I start rambling and I go so quick, I just, dazzle the crowd, and they say, well, what did he say? So I'll try to slow down. But yeah, Richie is a good guy, cut man. He was on the card with the Vaughn Alexander it didn't make it to the show, but he was there, did the 10-rounder. But he was Sharif's cut man for his last fight on the Joe LaGuardia card. He knows how to cool you down, and anybody need a cut man, reach out for Richie Schwartz. Been in the business, many years, decades.
Oh, yeah. He's a legend, man.
Yes, that's my guy.
The rabbi.
Rabbi, but he don't like that name, but I give it to him.
I know that.
Guy. But anyway, we're working on some other things like Shannon Briggs, and Shannon is opening up a gym on Pitkin Avenue, 1750 on Watkins in Brownsville. It's going to be really big for the kids, and it's working out so the kids could have something good and positive, stay off the streets, stay off the guns, stay off drugs, and get your lives in order if you can. But Shannon is working with Mike. Mike is going, anybody from Brownsville or Brooklyn, Zab Judah, Riddick Bowe, Mark Breland. There's a lot of guys going to be affiliated with this, but Shannon is the spearhead, and it's going to be opening it up probably within the next 2 to 3 months. Myself and Nermo are going to be participating and helping run the gym. He's going to be selling merchandise there. He's going to have a juice bar there for health, and he's going to have a food vendor there, but around the corner, he's going to hand out cards, the champ cards for the kids, so they can, eat. So they'll come to the gym, get a good workout, and get some food in their bellies.
Shout out to my friend, the J. Ruse Theory out there too, man. Salute, my brother. And the Bud Files, man. Thank you, cats, for stopping in here, man. I'm talking to Miles Bailey, the boxing aficionado. Miles knows everybody in the game. Miles is an advisor to several fighters in the game today. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to get, well, we still may get, I mean, I'm trying to get Michael the Bounty Hunter up here, a second generation heavyweight. I followed his dad in the 90s. I've seen Michael Hunter himself fighting. He's been boxing for 11 years. He's been in the ring with, I mean, he's only got one loss, and that was to Alexander Usyk for the WBO junior heavyweight title. Aside from that, he doesn't have an L on his record, and he's been in the ring with some awesome fighters. Martin Bacoli, Jerry Forrest, Alexander Povetkin. I mean, the guy's a dyed-in-the-wool veteran heavyweight contender. Miles advises him. I talked to him this afternoon. He had something to do till 10 o'clock, so we scheduled the show a little bit late, but he may be coming in here, man. I'm hoping he does anyway. I hate getting blown off. It happens all the time. I'm just a little peanut out here in the wild jungle of YouTube land. So, me and Miles, we'll hold it together for a little bit, and we'll see if we can't get the bounty hunter to stop in, man. But shout out to my friend Flawless Mentality with Dr. Mark. I appreciate you coming in here, man. I seen Knockout Ned, my brother. Thank you much for coming by, man. Appreciate it. And like I said, man, Miles, I hear that the youngest the youngest Rockman brothers, the baddest one out of all of them, the third one.
Yeah, I know him, but I haven't really met him like that. And so I heard he was really good, and hopefully that he can get in the mix and it'd be a trifecta, because we know Lil Rock, he won his first 12 fights. He was actually supposed to fight Jake Paul, but Jake Paul pulled out. I don't know the whole story, but they were supposed to fight. It was like a 3 to 5 pound weight discrepancy, but I believe that Jake Paul knew that Lil Rock was going to crack him. So he just said, you know what? I'll use the excuse with the 5 or 3 pounds, and he couldn't make weight, whatever it was. And as heavyweights, it shouldn't have been a real big deal because he's fighting Tyson. Tyson's going to come in about 230, 240. And Lil Rock, it wasn't that. It was a whole different ball game. But he knew he was fighting a real fighter, and it wasn't going to be any kind of script. I don't know what's going on with the Tyson thing, but I know with Lil Rock would have put it on him.
I'll tell you, man, I've been talking to some of the cats that I know, and they're telling me they talked to Tyson, and Tyson says it's on. This is real stuff. This ain't going to be Roy Jones exhibition. He's going to
on him where Lil Rock wasn't taking it easy. Lil Rock was going to get him. So
Tyson's going to get him too, man. According, from what I'm understanding, this is a legit fight, and Tyson wants to keep
it. It, Bruce, but I'm just saying I know factually that Lil Rock, and not just that Mike I believe is real. But Mike also is 57. Lil Rock is 30. So, Rock.
Oh no, bro, that would have been a great fight. Right. I think Jake Paul, he bowed out of that fight. Correct. I think he realized he was in the waters a little too deep, and then he pulled this bullshit excuse that Rockman wasn't cutting the weight fast enough, and he just shut him out. I talk to Hasim once in a while. I'm kind of a friend with him, but he don't like me because I liked Tim Witherspoon Jr. and they were going to get it on, and we tried to stir up a little shit on the show, and the fight never got made. But hey, it's all for the love of boxing. But I wish Hasim Jr. nothing but the best, man. And I think he just had a fight recently, didn't he? Didn't he fight some good? They had to look for 5 opponents for him or something. Yeah. Like find somebody.
Well, I don't know about his last opponents because, like I said, I wasn't around. But right now, I'm going to get him back in the mix. I've known him a long time. We both Geminis, and he's going to be champ. All he has to do is get in shape. We're going to get the right fights for him, and he's going to rock it through the division. Between him and Michael Hunter, one of them will have it. So Mike is going to get it first, and then Rock will get it second, or Rock will get the other belt. Then we'll go from there. But he also has, like I said, the brother. And also Keith Hunter. Keith is good, too. Keith, we have to find some opponents for him because nobody wants to fight these guys. They're always looking to go the other route. Or no, we can't fight that guy. Or they give him such a low ball money part where they're not even being fair. They're hoping these guys get old, and then that's what happens in this game. When you get the mileage on you, then you're not the same fighter you were 5 or 10 years ago. Almost like what happened with Pacquiao and Mayweather. Fight it took place many years after it should have taken place back 5 years before. I mean, it was a decent fight, but imagine if they had fought in 5 years earlier when Manny was quick, and Mayweather was good too. But I mean, I don't know if the outcome would have been any different, but I think it would have been a better fight. More punches would have been thrown.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, we're waiting for that fight to happen 5 years, 7 years before it even happened, and it just never happened. And it was anticlimactic. I wouldn't want to see a rematch. I think I almost fell asleep watching the fight. It was
almost a glorified sparring match, to be honest with you. I mean,
yeah.
disrespect me. Boy made a lot of money, made a couple $100 million. I would do the same thing right now at 50-something. Go out there for that kind of dance. But anyway, back to the fighters. Yeah, Shannon. Okay. Also, a couple other kids, Will Madera, Garland from upstate. I'm trying to help him get something because he's 17, 3-3, 140 pounder. He's a good fighter, and he's fought. He has tanked with some tough hombres, but you know, Will, good
What's
fighter.
his name? Let me look him up. Will Medina.
Yeah, Madera Garland.
How do you spell that? MED
ERA Garland. RLAND. I sent it to you earlier in the text.
No, I seen I seen all the pictures come in. You send me so much stuff. It's like my phone blows up when I get that. It's like bing, 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 bing. I don't know what's going on. I got an Obama. Yeah, I seen him here, man. 17, 3-3. He looks like a tough kid. Super lightweight out of Albany, New York.
And you know, he's getting up there in age, but he still has a couple of good ones in him. I feel get him a title shot, make him a whole bunch of money. He can retire, get into some kind of business. A good guy. But you know, like I said, I'm just trying to help these guys along because I got so many deals and so many things going on. Trying to, you know, work my situation. Also, I'm working with a lady named Gwen Leahy from California with Eruption Boxing. She's a manager, advisor of several fighters. She's really a nice lady, and she knows what she's doing. She's getting into a tough game, but I'm behind her, and we're working on some things. So, Gwen, I'm giving you a shout out. I hope you're watching the show and see. But she has James Hagler Jr. A fighter just lost in over in Texas. He had a tough loss. He really won the fight, but you know the politics kind of messed the kid up because he was 10-0 with one knockout, and he wasn't a real big puncher. But if you don't knock a person out, they don't really give you the decision when you're not fighting in your hometown. So that's what happened to that kid. But in any event, yeah, back to the other fighters. We're moving along. I'm working on something also in Tulsa, the Hard Rock, Oklahoma. There's a casino out there with the Cherokee people, with a friend of mine, Tony Payne, who was Frank Tate's manager years ago. So he got in touch with me, and he said he wants to do some shows out there with some of the blue chip fighters that I'm working with, and it's going to be good. Cherokee, Indian, the Hard Rock, Windstar, and Oklahoma. I'm going to get all the particulars in the next 60 to 90 days. It should be up and running. So hopefully by September or before year's end, we'll have things really cranked up, ready to go. There's a couple more things. We got the Royalty of the Ring, Tracy Sultan. That's the big show I was telling you about, and I think it's going to start to take off because it's really something for the fighters. She has a whole lot of. She has a ring entrance, a whole bunch of stuff moving along, and I'm helping her with that. And I'm getting Evander involved with it. I just talked to Shannon about it. He's with it. He just wants everybody just wants to see the paperwork so they can move forward. Because before Tommy Hearns and Tracy had it going, but I don't know all what happened or how it ended. But right now, it's almost like something like The Contender. It's called Royalty of the Ring, and it's a pretty good boxing show. It's almost like The Contender, but not The Contender, but it's something like that.
Yeah, you sent me something like that. It was about a half a year ago that was happening. I mean, the money they were talking about on there, they were talking about millions of dollars and promotional contracts and
she has to get to pick it up and get things rolling. It'll be a good thing for boxing. So, but that's going to be really sooner than later. But it's really, I think, going to help boxing promote it and get it rolling in the right direction.
Now to my boy Benzo out there, man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate it.
So yeah, just to get back into the history of boxing, like I've been doing this a long time. Again,
Tell us about Miles. Anybody out here, I know you, but tell these cats out here how you got into boxing, how you got involved in it.
boxing.
Let's get back to the grassroots, brother. Maybe we'll get lucky and Mike will come in here. Maybe we'll just fucking talk amongst ourselves. Who knows, man?
Yeah, well I started out in the Fort Apache back in the early 80s, like 79, 80, when Louis DeVal was there. He was a youngster. Then I shipped over to the South Queens Boys Club with my man Dave Seaves, and we fought on the same card. Then I went to Bed-Stuy, where I was with Mike Tyson, Farad Pinchback, Riddick Bowe, Mark Greeland, Mustafa, Ronald McCall, Owen McGeechee, Tunde Foster. I mean, the whole nine. So it was really good. Fought the Junior Olympic champion. I lost to him. It was a close decision, but it was no embarrassment because he went on to win it 2 out of the next 3 years. Felix Tito Rosato. You can look him up. But in any event, there was a lot of good guys that came out of Bed-Stuy, but all hit my man Nermal Lorick. He wasn't in Bed-Stuy. He was in Starlight City with Jimmy O'Farah. So Starlight City was big. That's where Demetrius Salita was at. But I went over there once in a while. That's why me and Nermal hooked up, because we're really good friends. He was on the that team going to the Olympics juniors. He made it there. Something happened with his passport, but Farad won the welterweight. Mike Tyson won the heavyweight. This is my whole crew. So this is and it was really good. But then I switched over to the management. I did a couple of promotion shows also with my daughter Barbara, with Adam Neary from Albany. I did a couple of shows with Nermo, but I picked up a lot of fighters along the way and worked with a lot of fighters. And I worked with Chris Smith, the mechanic, and I worked with Lonnie Thompson for a while. My heavyweight Tim Bethel boy. So I did some things in the game. So I'm pretty diverse in this. I kind of know it, and I could help people if they sit down and listen. Like with Devin, we start, like I said, me, Repo, Rick, Fareeds, and Mike McCallum. We were really in his beginning. He was training over there at Bones Adams gym. Anybody can tell you the truth. That's what happened. And he was training the Mayweather gym also. But again, sometimes in this game, people want to do things the way they want to do it. But I didn't believe in breaking something up that was really positive. Because Mike McCallum was a 3-time world champion, and he beat Donald Curry. He knocked out Julian Jackson, and that's what hurt him too, because nobody wanted to fight Mike after he won those 2 fights. Leonard, Duran, Benitez, Aguayo. Nobody wanted Marvin Hagler. Nothing. He didn't wind up getting a shot.
He was the classic, what they call, he was high risk, low reward.
Spoiler. And he got 2 shots at Tony and Roy Jones, but he was 40 years old by that time. So he was way past his prime. He did get a draw with Tony, and he lost to Jones.
That first fight was fight of the year. That was an amazing fight. People sit down and watch that fight today. Let me shout out to Fender Bender. Appreciate you coming in here, brother. Hit that like button, man. I'm talking to the legendary boxing aficionado Miles Bailey up here, man. We're waiting for Michael the Bounty Hunter. He was going to come on here. My apologies to anybody that came on here expecting that, man. You know how YouTube goes. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. But fear not. We'll stick around a little bit longer, and if we don't get him today, I'll get him back again here. But anyway, I'm talking to my friend Miles Bailey. Miles has been in boxing now for what, Miles? 40 years?
45 years. I don't look it, but I was there. I didn't get the break and scramble, but I got enough knowledge up here. They say I'm a walking encyclopedia, because I could know right away once. Like, even a guy wants to learn. If you take him to the gym, I will also try to help him through. Like, there was a kid named Andrew Tabiti. I was with my daughter about 10, 12 years ago. We were at the Mayweather gym. So I was working with Eddie Mustafa. This is when he had Badu Jack, a whole bunch of new guys in. At the time, Tabiti had maybe 1 fight. He was an amateur. So I was watching him work out. So I was told to my daughter, I said, Barbie, see that kid over there? She said, who? I said, the young, the slender kid. He's going to be a champion. She said, how could you know that? At the time, I said, I've been doing this for over 30 years. And then eventually, Andrew Tabiti became a champion. It doesn't take long I mean, I could just tell how the guy sets up, how he warms up. And I just got that eye to know, because also I've done it. So not that I was a champion, but I fought with guys that were champions. I spar with them. I work with them. I get it. So I know the game. And not that I'm perfect, but like I said, I'm just sorry I wasn't with Devin. I'd have told him right away, don't fight this guy. Fight your fight like you fought Regis. And if he had took that game plan instead of going out, it was going to be a funeral like everybody thought, I believe the outcome would have been different. That's just my belief. But we'll see next time, because they all lose. Besides Floyd and Rocky, there's nothing wrong with losing, because as long as you come back and you learn from your mistake. Now, if you come back and just keep getting your brains beat in, that's a whole different ballgame. But if you learn, you do some adjustments, that's where I think if Mike McCallum was in his corner, or Fareed, or a real good trainer, Freddie Roach, anybody, nothing against his dad, because his dad wasn't really into the boxing scene like these guys, they would have made some adjustments, and possibly he could have came out with the win or possibly a draw. But when you just keep going the same path, like they say, insanity is doing the same thing, thinking it's going to be a different outcome. But Ryan called it. I didn't know if he was going to knock him out, but like I said, he did what he had to do. And it also was good for boxing. Not that Devin lost, but now people know that it's not fixed. Like they thought, they thought Devin was going to go in there and just really kill this guy. But I knew it would be close, not just because they had fought 6 times, so they had history. Ryan won 3, Devin won 3 in the amateurs. So, they both had their moments. But Ryan,
I call that. I was so wrong on that. Shout out to my brother Moore out there, man. Thank you for coming by. I call that so wrong. I thought Devin was going to go out there and give him a boxing lesson. I thought Ryan would even, in frustration, maybe just throw his hands up and pull a no mas. But man, I was so wrong. That's why I love boxing. That's why I love it, man. Ryan proved me wrong. Some people say he might have exposed Devin a little bit. Devin had never been tested like that by a puncher on the chin. I mean, they said, who was it? Linares had put him on Queer Street, but nothing like this. And maybe that's a fault that he has. Plus, he doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power to discourage somebody that's coming after him either. And to be a complete boxer, you said it earlier. You got to have that knockout punch. That's the end all be all for a complete fighter.
Right.
Maybe Devin, maybe he's got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe he needs some experienced trainers in there that can show him how to slip that left hook and counter with some power. I don't know if power can be built or not, man. I don't know. Box hard, bro. We're waiting for Mike here. We're I can't go there and get him. I talked to him earlier. He said he'd be here. I'm doing what I can, brother. And
we'll get him. Even if we miss this time, this is just a prelude that's just going to come up, because this is just the appetizer. When you get the main course, he could come, but he will definitely be there next time, because we'll have him on before we do it. But I did tell him, I did talk to him, Bruce talked to him. So, guys, we just forgive us. Nobody's perfect.
But shit happens.
Right.
Shit happens, man. But thanks all you cats for coming in here. If you have any questions for Miles, you heard all the people Miles has been hanging with throughout his illustrious career. Shoot him up here, because Miles has got a memory like a Rolodex up there, man. He knows everybody out in the game. Ed Howard, salute my brother. Thank you for coming by over on Facebook, man. I'm psyched that I got people watching me on two separate media platforms here tonight, and also on Twitter. We're running on Twitter, man. Let's see if we got anybody paying attention to us on that media platform. Hey, Miles, what do you think of the fights coming up in Saudi Arabia on the was it June 1st?
Yeah, I think Dante, he'll have a chance to redeem himself, because he's my good friend. Like I said, his last fight was a little bit of a dud. It happens. He just probably wasn't into it. But if he lands that vaunted right hand, I think nobody in the heavyweight division can really hang out with him, because he's just that good. But also, he's getting a little older now. Maybe Father Time is catching up. But look at George. George won the title at 45. So long as you got that right, there it is. Boom. Lights out. So, but I don't know who's all fighting on the card. I kind of glossed over it. I saw like some of the previews. I didn't really know these guys. I've seen them, but I don't have personal history with them like the other times, like when I was up at the Mayweather gym and those times. But like I said, I was away for a while, so some guy slipped by me. But like I said, when they go over to Saudi, they're running for the money because they're paying really well over there. So hopefully they get some of these promoters to dig in their wallet and take care of these fighters here, because these fighters are the ones that we all come in to see. Like, that's what I'm hoping for, because these guys are hurt. Like they need paydays and not $1,000. Like I heard the other day, Ryan made $50 million. I'm not saying every fighter should be paid $50 million, but he part of that he did on his own because he put $2 million.
Imagine that. That's what Oh, I hear a lot of that on YouTube and on the internet. Bet on yourself, bro. You can't bet anymore on yourself. You're betting $2 million. Nah, hey, I got to give it to Ryan. Ryan just he pulled the coup of the century. That's the upset of the year. I never thought it in a million years. I thought he was going to get his ears boxed off.
Yeah, I thought, but go in there and not go to your plan. Like if Devin again had boxed him like he had boxed the last gentleman, I believe he would have been victorious. But
well, that was Regis Prograis, and
right.
Regis was coming forward, and Regis had short arms. The thing about Ryan had long arms, and Ryan has power behind those. Yeah, Prograis didn't. And the thing too about Devin Haney, he's usually pick, hold. He wasn't doing any of that today. He was trying to hook with a hooker. He was trying to throw power punches with Ryan Garcia. He got beat up bad, man. That was poor training. He needs somebody besides Wild Bill in the corner. I think he either needs somebody or maybe we've seen the last of them. Some fighters never come back from beatings like that.
Good thing he did finish the fight. He showed heart and determination. He got up every time. He got a little help from the ref. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pull no punches. I'm just glad that he came out all right. He's not dead. He's not hurt. But he'll be back if he got to, brush it off, because they all lost. Ali lost. Foreman lost. Frazier lost. De La Hoya lost. They all lost.
All of them.
I mean, besides Mayweather and Marciano, but again, not against The Rock, so people could know Rock fought in the era where it was just a handful of people. I mean, he beat everybody in front of him, but the guys, the Sonny Listons of the world, the Alis of the world, even Floyd Patterson gave him a run for it.
Now, do you think there's going to be a rematch with Ryan and Devin? You think they're gonna do it again?
Well, I'll have to check on that, because I think they will. Even though De La Hoya said that he's calling the shots now, I think it should be. Maybe you don't want to do it right away, but it would be good for boxing, because vice versa. If Devin had won, I believe Devin would have given him a chance. So right is right, and if you could beat him again, go grab another $50 million. What's wrong with that?
No. I don't. Well, if you look at it from that point of view, but I think the rematch is all wrong for him right now. I don't think he should be rushed into it. I think he needs some confidence builders, some tune-ups, and he's got to get in the ring with some heavy punches too to see if he's not gun shy, because he got pounded, man. I'm sorry, he got beat up. That was a New York mugging that went on.
Well, if Devin goes use what I saw him do, what I was around watching him do, when he's working with Mike McCallum and Fareed and all those guys. I'm not saying these guys are not doing a good job training, but I saw he used to run guys out of the gym when he was 130 pounder fighting 50 pounders. I saw it. A couple of times I was there refereeing. So these are true stories. So again, I just think if he goes back to the basics, it's not the end of the world. You didn't get stretched with an ambulance had to come get you. So you just got to fix up some of your mistakes and come back. It's almost like when Tommy Hearns fought Sugar Ray Leonard. He was supposed to take Sugar Ray out. I was there. It broke my heart because I wanted to be just like Tommy Hearns, but Sugar Ray took it to him. And Hearns...
Great, one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. That was back and forth action, man.
The thing is, Hearns got stopped. At least Devin didn't get stopped. So, it was really good. And Hearns came back even after the Hagler fight where he got stretched. He still came back. But my point is, I don't think this is the end-all, be-all for Devin Haney. I think he'll be back. I'm going to talk to my daughter because my daughter works with that camp. Not with him. She works with Matchroom Boxing, and they got a lot of fighters. So I'll get some kind of lowdown, seeing what's going on, what's happening. Because I text Bill not too long ago, maybe a day or two, you know, said sorry for what happened, but get a hold of me. But I haven't heard from him. But it's okay. It's all good. But I think there is going to be a rematch. I don't think it's going to be an automatic rematch because Oscar, you know, was a little pissed. You could have heard the way he was talking about Devin. I mean, that Ryan is running the show now. You got to come through him. If anybody wants to fight, he's fighting at 145 or the Tank, Devin, whoever. And then he said, well, I'm not fighting Devin again. But sometimes in this world, how it works, money talks. So
now, Miles, now you just mentioned 145 and he fought at 143. These are not weights that are recognized as champions. These are not weights where you can gain a title at. You think titles don't mean shit anymore? You think it's more just the money fights?
Well,
because Ryan doesn't seem to care. He could have won the junior welterweight title, the WBC 140-pound strap, but he chose to come in at 143. And Lord knows what they both came in when that fight happened. You know, Devin. Everybody says Devin is the weight bully. Devin's a guy that only fights smaller guys, that hydrates 30 pounds when he gets back in the ring. And now it's almost like the what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But Devin's fans are all crying foul. But getting back to my basic question, you think these guys want a belt, or you think they just want the bag?
Well, it's a little of both. In this case with Ryan, I got to give him a lot of credit. All the antics, all the guys, all the people the commentators. If Ryan Garcia had came in at 140 pounds, I don't think he would have had the same performance because he would have been dehydrated. He would have been, you know, he would have just been like he was when he fought Tank, because they showed the two pictures when he was fighting Tank and when he was fighting Devin, and he looked like a guy 20 pounds heavier, and not like, I mean, maybe the weight helped him with his strength, because when you got to make weight, it saps your strength. So you'll be all right round the two, then you add a gas. So them extra 3 pounds made a lot. Because if he had to make 140, he would have been kaput. I mean,
you really think those 3 pounds makes that much of a difference?
At that point where you took the 3 points off, the 3 pounds off as you're training over the weeks or the months, it's different. But to take it off that day or two, it would have definitely sapped his strength, because he was fighting the next day. So if he had 3 days to
you think excuse me. Excuse me. You think Ryan might have played Devin Haney with that weight thing where Devin had to struggle to make that 140 and Ryan was just partying, eating what he wanted to eat, training the way he wanted to train, where Devin had to dehydrate himself. You know, maybe who knows what kind of diuretics that they take to lose all that weight. He's a snack athlete. So he's taking some legal stuff, but those legal supplements are pretty strong. They're almost as strong as PEDs, man. Because I sold them for 30 years, man. I know what they can make with the snack supplement company. But anyway, do you think that might have fucked up Devin Haney because he had to struggle to make that weight? And Ryan didn't? You think that might have had an outcome on the fight?
It could have, but I knew before when he was fighting 135, it was definitely because me and my daughter had a lot of talks extensively about that. I said, I was working with him when he was 130 pounds. How come he's 135? And this is 6-7 years later. And then when he went up to the 140, she said, Daddy, you were right. I said, I know I'm right. You know, she said, because I've been saying for years, get out of that 135 because you're growing. Because when I was with you, we were 130, 132, whatever. Now, when you fight 135 for 6-7 years, it's not going to work because you're going to grow. When I started, I was 135, but then I went up to 140.
Oh, shit. Oh, he's back again. Okay, we're good. You're on mute, though, I think. You're on mute. Can't hear you. You're on mute, Miles. Forgive us. We're going through some technical difficulties here. Miles, your mic is muted. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, what happened was when somebody calls in, so hopefully
maybe that was Mike.
No, there was another guy, you know, because people were seeing. So, but yeah, back to your question. Yeah, I think Devin was probably hindered a little bit with the weight, where Ryan, the 3 pounds helped him, and plus he's going to be naturally, as Oscar said, fighting 47, which is good for him because not only is good for him, it's good for boxing because it was really good that they can have somebody that upset. So now people don't think all the time it's just a one-way thing where, oh, this guy, this, that, and the third, da da da. So it was good. But yeah, I think possibly Devin, updates on actually what his weight was. But yeah, it was a struggle because like I said, when I met him, he was a 130 pounder. And this was when he was 15, 16 years old. Now at 25, you're going to be telling me the guy only gained 6 pounds, 8 pounds, and he's grown an inch, because I got pictures with him when he was not little, but 5'6", 5'7". So now he's like,
I'm hearing that they came into the ring at like 170 plus, over 170 pounds apiece on Saturday night. You believe that?
nah, it could have, but I can't say for sure. I really don't know, but I'll find out through my daughter. I'll ask her what happened to find out about the weights,
Because I mean, weight. It's amazing the weight cuts that they make today to make that weight. But then again, like I just said, man, Ryan said, he said, fuck the belts. I don't care. I'm 143. He didn't even try to cut weight.
No, health-wise, I believe Ryan did the right thing, because those 3 pounds gave him that extra strength, because he was getting a little gas too, because it wasn't like he was a ball of energy. He was tired because he was holding a lot, because let's keep it real, out of the 12 rounds, 3 to 5 rounds, he was holding. And Devin won some rounds. That's why I don't think it was a draw, but Devin had his moments. He did all right, but what hurt him is the 3 knockdowns, and that's why the other guys had it lopsided. But the 112, it was close. I think Ryan won the fight, but nobody acknowledged that he got robbed. Like, nobody said, "Oh, Devin was robbed." And you don't hear that, because you hear it a lot in boxing when you, like the fight before the Devin Haney fight. I think the kid Barbosa, that's his name they were talking about.
Yeah. Sean McComb from Ireland,
like a drum.
Beat him. And that's why when I saw the bell ring for the Devin fight, I said, "Oh no." And then when I heard one of the judges had it a draw, it's the way boxing goes. We've seen the worst decisions in the world throughout our careers as being fans in the gym.
The climatic situation just to keep the crowd involved. But anybody that knows boxing knows Devin lost this particular fight. Not because he fought bad, because he got 3 knockdowns. If you have 3 knockdowns, it's 10-8 rounds. That's you have too much ground to make up. It's not enough. It's not like a 15-round fight, but even you getting knocked down 3 times, it's not like he knocked him down or they took away the point from Ryan, but that was because, he hit him a little on the break. But
Harvey Doc had a terrible night, and he's usually a good referee, but he had a terrible night.
Because those guys were holding a lot, but they were tired because Devin was getting, clocked, and he was getting really, not just beat up, but he was getting beat to the punch. And the left hook was, when I knew it was in trouble, my hand to God, I said to my daughter, I texted her because we were in different rows. I said after the first round, when Ryan came out and caught him, that's when Devin was a little gun shy. So the second round, I sent her a text and saying, Devin's in trouble here. And then as it went on, then he did good for 4 or 5 rounds. And then when he went down, then I said he needs a knockout. Then he got knocked down again and again. And, I did send it to her. But like I said, I've been doing this too long. I could watch to see how the vibes are going. But it was a good fight for boxing. Not that I hope they do it again. I hope, like you said, Devin gets a couple of tune-ups. Devin gets a couple of confidence builders. And he just comes back. Just like they say, let it roll off him like the water off the duck's tail. It's not the end of the world. You didn't get knocked out. You're not in the hospital. Like he said, he caught him sleeping because he just was a little overconfident. But now I think he understood from what happened to him. And I heard today on Twitter or some kind of tub, where his father said they're going to take a break. And that's good. Take some time off and then come back. Just watch yourself, because if you're going to come back, you got to get ready. Like they say, you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready.
There you go. Stay ready.
Stay ready. So, it's a tough game. And I tell all the guys, do your road work. Go get your rest. Once you get ready to fight, you got to stay away from the girls, stay away from, the alcohol. You got to, do it right, because it's a rough game. It's not like football, basketball, baseball. hockey where you could get a break. No, you get 3 minutes and then you get that 1 minute, you're right back out there.
Oh, there's nothing like boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the ultimate truth serum. Once that bell rings,
Yep.
ain't no more. You know, there ain't no excuses. You know, it's you standing out there in your underwear, and you know, you got to show what you got. But man, I'm loving it. My friend Charles D, bro, thank you much for coming in here. Yeah, we got about 50 people watching us over here. My friend Miles, and we got another 40 of them on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Right.
So
right.
you know, we gotta get Michael Hunter back on here, bro.
We're gonna get him. You got the number. Listen, even if you get him on another show, but he's gonna come because we're setting up some fights for him. We just every time we were trying to fight Joey DeWaco, every time we reach out to a fight, they tell us no, we're not fighting Hunter. But we're gonna get him something because once we get him lined up, then we're gonna get some mandatories with the WBA, the WBC. They gotta fight him because he's looking for the fight. Usyk said he would give him a rematch, but Usyk is also fighting Tyson Fury. So, but I don't think Usyk wants any of this. Not because he can't win, but some of these guys know when you win that kind of tough fight, you don't want it again. Because, like I said, Mike carries that kind of cachet as a heavyweight. He's not a big puncher. He's not fast, but he's like Einstein in there. I'm telling you, I've watched him. He's real good heavyweight. He's good for boxing.
I'm dying to get him on here because I know he like I said, he's second generation, so he grew up in the game, and his father fought everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all of them are called Dwight Mohammed Kwawi, Pinklin Thomas, bro. The list goes on, and even Mike's got some class fighters on his resume too. So
Yeah.
In heavyweight boxing, that's what I love too, man. You know, I love boxing in general, but heavyweights, that's my weakness. That's what I was weaned on. And, you know, Muhammad Ali, you know, I loved him as much as I love my father. And, you know, I mean, heavyweight boxing is what I was, like I said, it was what I was made for. And we got like the heavyweights coming up, man. You said, we talked about a little bit about Wilder and Zhilei Zhang. How about the Danny Dubois and Philip Herjavec card? You familiar with those two guys, man?
Yeah, I like Danny Dubois. I like him. He's pretty good. I like him. But there's another heavyweight I'm working with called the Gladiator, the guy that just fought about 2 weeks ago, a month ago. Did you see him when he got robbed? He fought Jeff, the African guy, on Saturday night about two or three Saturdays ago. The Gladiator, the Italian kid. He was
Guido Vianelli.
Yeah, that's my guy because the guy who's controlling him, my man Frankie from up here, he said, Miles, I want you to take over the Gladiator for me. So I'll be working with the Gladiator. I forgot to talk about him because Frank's mother passed away, unfortunately, the other day. So he called me and said, Miles, my mom passed. Just sit tight. But the Gladiator, that's the guy, and the guy can fight. And I got
wasn't he with Jimmy Birchfield?
He was with Jimmy Birchfield, but he's going to be with me soon because Frankie's.
He had a close contest the other day too.
Got robbed. He won it.
Yeah. Who did he fight again?
Jeff Awakbi. It was an African guy. The guy.
Effie Ajagba.
Listen, these names really. If this is not George Foreman, Jerry Quarry, Ernie Shavers, the guys I came up with those were the. I'm not saying these guys are not fighters, but those were the electrifying fighters. Kenny Norton, you know, Joe Frazier, back in the day, Eddie Machen, you know the whole Sonny Liston. They had some real guys in the 60s, Jimmy Ellis. It was just a good crop.
Those were the best, bro. Those were the best. The guys I grew up with.
Yeah, from the 70s, really from the late 60s through 1980, where you really had until Larry Holmes came through. But then you had the next group like Tim Witherspoon. He was good. Pinklin Thomas. I mean, Mike Tyson, of course. So we really, Mike Tyson is still around to this day, which is good for boxing because he's looking good. He's training good. And shoot, Mike might turn around after he beats this guy, take a shot at the title. You know, if they throw enough money around. But if Mike hits you.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about that, Miles, when we get older, you know, we might feel good and look good, and we might have a couple of rounds in us, but there are places where you get hit and you could be in the hospital. You could be fucked up for life. You know, I hate to see these old guys fighting. Mike Tyson, maybe it's going to be an interesting. I don't think Jake Paul can hurt him. But as far as like when I saw Holyfield get knocked out by fucking I forget his name.
I saw that.
That was sad.
Well, the interesting thing about Mike, years ago, I was working with my man Terry Hollis, and we were talking about it. So he said, Miles, you know, I got Bob Sapp. Can you get it going? I did get it going.
You're on mute again.
Thought some kind of way it's
gotta come
slipped
back
out
again.
of our hands. Yeah, I'm back. It slipped out of our hands, and he wound up fighting Roy Jones. But me and Terry put that together for Bob Sapp to fight him, and he did a very good fight with Roy Jones. Roy Jones was getting hit with some tremendous body shots that Mike was going easy on. And that's what showed that Mike still had it. And it wasn't like he did this 20 years ago. And Mike is still looking good. They went, I think, 8 rounds.
Oh, yeah. And Mike also said, he said it was an exhibition. They weren't out there to beat each other up. But he says he's going to beat up Jake Paul.
Yeah, well, I think he is. I think it's going to be it's in Dallas, Texas. It's Texas Stadium, July 20th. And I think now we can talk about a funeral possibility against Jake Paul. Because if Mike hits the guy, you know, it's going to be lights out. But like I said, my worry is if Jake runs around for 4 or 5 rounds and try to tire Mike out, because that's his only way to do it. Because if Mike hits him, he's going to sleep. Mike is the real deal. You know,
I love Mike Tyson too, man. You know, I saw Mike Tyson's whole career. I have a Mike Tyson stadium jacket. I got a beautiful blue and gold Mike Tyson jacket over there. But man, I saw Mike Tyson go down to nothing. He lost $400 million. He was a wreck. He was fucked up on the crack pipe. I mean, he was a mess. And he came back again. And with the power of the weed, he got rich again, and he got healthy again. And man, I hope he kicks Jake Paul's ass. I don't want to see him hurt the guy. I don't want to see him do any permanent damage. But knock him out and show him what real boxing's all about, man. Yeah. That's what I want to see.
When he fought Trevor Berbick, see what I liked about that? He hit him. Trevor Berbick it was a delayed fall, and he got up and he fell. He kept falling several times. That's when you know Mike Tyson, when he hit you,
that was so, he took the equilibrium right out of Trevor Berbick that night. I think that was a left hook. He stepped back, went down. He got up, he went down again, and it was a great time to be a boxing fan, man. The youngest heavyweight champion in history that night. 21
years old. Yep, 21. He had just turned 21 because his birthday was in June, and the fight was in November.
Mm-hmm. So was he 20? He was 20, I believe.
Yeah, he's 20, right? Because his birthday was in June. He just turned 20 in June because it was in '86, and he was born in '66. Yeah, he was 20 years old.
20, unbelievable.
That good, and he's still good. It's just showing how, like I said, Mike is the man. He's still the man. Mike is still trying to do his thing, and he's good for boxing. I think until he dies, people will talk about Mike Tyson, like they talked about Muhammad Ali. Only thing, Muhammad Ali wasn't a big puncher, but he can hit you with so many combinations. It's just like, wow. But like I said, if people want to go back, go check out George Foreman, Ronnie Lyles, the elevator fight. You want to see Rock'em Sock'em Robots, like you say, heavyweights. That's what really, I mean, I was watching it for a long time, but that's what the fight that I really loved, because Foreman went down the first time and the blood came out of his mouth. Nowadays, they probably would have stopped it.
But yeah.
They let him. And Foreman went down again. He went down twice, I think, in one round.
Classic fight. Ron Lyle was tough as nails too. Former ex-con. I mean, he was pardoned. He was convicted murderer, pardoned by the governor. I mean, he's got a very violent life. You know, shot at his wife on the highway. I mean, he grew up very violently. But man, what a boxer he was. He gave Muhammad Ali hell until Ali stopped him. He had that great fight with George Foreman, the elevator fight. He fought
also.
Shavers, Jerry Quarry, all those guys, man, all those guys from the late '60s, the '70s. That was the golden era right there, man.
Well, hopefully it comes back now with Michael Hunter and all these other heavyweights now that are going. The only thing I just don't understand how these guys blow up to 300 pounds, whoever you are. Get down in fighting weight. Now, if you're just 6'8", like the Giant when the guy was 7 feet, that's different. But if you're 6'2", 6'4", you shouldn't be more than 242. They should have a weight limit or have another class of fighters, have the super heavyweights. That's what they really could do. The guys, so that'll create another division and that'll make money in boxing. I don't know if they ever would do it, but that would be good. Like if
I hope not. I hope not, man. There's too many divisions, too many belts.
No, I agree. If you're a heavyweight,
no, we're in an era where heavyweights are big. If Rocky Marciano was alive today, he'd be a cruiserweight. Let's face it. He couldn't survive. He couldn't survive the guys like Tyson Fury, the guys like Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe. It just wouldn't be fair. But anyway, man, Alexander Usyk is going to be 40, 50 pounds lighter than Tyson Fury, right?
Right. But he's a very talented fighter, and I've watched him closely. And again, he's never lost. He's undefeated. So Usyk coming up from cruiserweight, I got to give him credit. And I don't think Tyson Fury wants to fight anymore. I think Tyson Fury is just stealing money, and he's not the same guy that beat Wilder. I'm just watching him, and he beat Klitschko. He won a lot of good fights, but he embarrassed himself against the UFC guy. The guy put him down. He won a controversial.
Yeah.
He won a controversial decision because it would have been like egg in the face of boxing, where a guy come up from the MMA or wrestler, whatever you want to call him, and to win the boxing heavyweight title. That means they would have had a plethora of guys running from that to go for the heavyweight title. So that's why. But then the show with Joshua took care of him in a round or two, and that's the end of that.
And Joshua, now we didn't even talk about him. That's another guy right there, man. I think Joshua's improved instead of deteriorated. I think he's improved in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has to get Eddie Hearns too, and he also is a great fighter. But again, you got to get him in there. Like you got to get the shot, because if he doesn't, Father Time is going to set in, and he's going to be a fighter of the past. Not today, but I'm talking about the next 2 or 3 years, because he's got to be in his mid-30s, 34, 35, which is fine now. But when you get 37, 38, 40, you start to slow down. Like they say, Father Time is undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
We at the end of the stage. Any more questions? We've been on for an hour. Sorry we didn't get Mike Hunter, but we'll get him back. We'll get the other guys. We'll get Rockman. We'll get Sharif. We'll get Keith. We'll get all the guys. My man Demetrius Long. He's going to be a champion. So we're going to work on him.
Miles, they're coming to get you. No,
that's the ambulance. They ain't coming to get me. I don't get scared no more.
Don't tell them nothing, and keep your hands in plain sight at all times, man. That's all.
Yeah. I was with my man Dave. He fought with me. Yeah, so I'll give a shout out to Cops and Kids. I was down there with him in Brooklyn the other day, showing the kids the knuckle push-ups. I was on the speed bag. They couldn't believe it. But Davey told them, "Yeah, I can't do that." That's my man, Dave Sieves. He was in the 77 precinct. He retired, but he fought with me. But he runs the Cops and Kids down in Brooklyn, and he's doing a great job. We've got a couple of fighters down there, a young middleweight that I was kind of watching, and I think we're going to do something with him. Got a lot of fighters that I'm going to work with. Nirmo and I, we're going to pick up a couple of guys, take them over to Gleason's, and we're going to come over to the gym over there with Shannon Briggs. We're going to put the kids there. We're going to put them. We're going to bring out some gems. We've been doing this too long, but we're going to get over quickly, because I don't want to do this when I'm 90 years old either. I want to be out, and that's it. So that's it.
I'm going to be doing this when I'm 90 years old. I'm going to still be here doing this when I'm 90, Miles.
Yeah, well, I hope so too, but I want to be on the boat, in the yacht. We're chasing all the girls, having fun, playing the horses at the casino, having fun.
There you go. Shake them dice, brother. Hey, Miles, God bless you, my man. I'll talk to you later on, okay, brother?
Yes, sir. And you cats out there, watch out. Listen to my man Brucegas. You heard it from the Boxing Aficionado. Peace.
That's that's my man Miles Bailey, man, bro. I mean, Miles is my guy, and you know, we're gonna get Mike the Bounty Hunter on here. I'll give him a call. I'll give him a call tomorrow. It's 11 o'clock already over here on the East Coast, so I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna call him tonight. But don't you worry. This is the land of YouTube. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. It's happened to us many a times. And speaking of hits, man, I've been enjoying this vape. I got some King Louis in here. It's a nice little disposable vape cartridge of perfectly legal medical grade cannabis that I take to help my shoulders. And today, man, I had to mow the lawn this morning. Yesterday, me and my wife cleaned the yard. It was Earth Day. We got about oh shit, man, about 7 bags and 3 buckets full of leaves and sticks and everything else that was in the yard today. Took it down with the mower, so it was a blast. But yeah, like I said, man, sorry about not having the bounty hunter on here. We will have him again in a day or so. It ain't no big deal, man. I got his advisor, Miles Bailey, on my side, and we're gonna bring a lot more boxes up here because it's a fun thing to do. It's informative, and that's what it's all about on here. It's the land of YouTube, and I thank you all for coming in here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and I'll catch you guys all again soon, man. Peace out.